Good morning, ladies and gentlemen from the Republic of Uganda. My name is Lourine Adyero. I am 23 years old from Gulu, Uganda. I reside in Kampala. So basically today I would like to talk about the injustices and the inequalities that happen in beauty pageants, especially Miss Uganda. I was Miss Uganda North 2024-2025, and I would like to talk about the negative things that I actually witnessed, and I call upon the government of Uganda to look into it. So first of all, when I joined Miss Uganda, I started last year, whereby I emerged as first runner-up Miss Uganda North. And then I went to Kampala auditions. I did not make it. I was eliminated for arriving late, of which I took very positive. And this year, when they announced for Miss Uganda, they called me, they asked me to look for them contestants. I kept on looking for contestants, and I was going to hand over. That's how much I liked the fraternity. So it was held in Lira district. So we went to Lira. I brought in all the girls. Most of them were from Lira, and one was from Kitgum, the other was from Pade. I brought all those girls. So when they came in, apart from two girls that I brought, when they came in, and then I also came in, I arrived with one other girl from this side. They told me to get into the line, and then I told them, I'm like, you know what, it's going to be very unfair for me to get into the line when I brought in these girls. These are like my friends. They're like, no, you don't know what you want. You have to get into the line. Then I thought about it, because I had one last semester left. I was already on that semester. I had to get a dead semester for it. So I was like, okay, fine. Let me just go. They told me, if you don't want, just add on the line. I'm like, okay. So I got through, and then, I practiced for pageantry for 6 good years. So I would never forget anything that comes in pageantry, because these are things that I study. Miss Uganda is about social work that they don't even know. So I used the social work criteria to answer my questions. I talked about things deep to my heart. As a Northern Region Queen, I actually talked about HIV, because that's the rampant thing, and poverty. And then I spoke about domestic violence. Like, I grew up in a very domestic violent home. So I emerged as Miss Uganda North. And I was so proud of myself. I was too proud. I opened up a WhatsApp group, and I managed to have people who were really ready to wait for the links to come out and all that. I was very patient, everywhere. People were actually getting proud of me because of how I spoke during the regionals. I used the social work criteria. I used all my kind of diction I would use. So I was like, okay, this would be a very good platform for me to join politics. So I used the platform very well. We went in, we came back home, regionals got done, we came to Kampala. I actually managed to make friends, good friends from Kampala. And I remember one time, after speaking as a regional queen, they even had to tell other regional queens, why don't you be like Miss North? Can't you see that she has made a lot of research? Like, I use notes to sleep. I used to read every time. You find me with a book. You find me, at least I was up to speed with what was going on around me in the country, internationally. At least I would know something, especially in the community, because this was a community thing. So we get through to eliminations. They eliminate our first runner-up, Miss Uganda North. The second elimination, they eliminated the second runner-up. And then we got to parents' meeting. Now that's where you start to notice a lot of favoritisms and injustices. So from the parents' meeting, we started realizing, like, some other people's parents that would overfavor them. This would make you feel like your parents are not really doing enough, or they don't have the money that they want. The way they were favoring someone's parent, you would be like, we saw that, but we all kept quiet. We're like, okay, we shall get through that. They told us Uganda Airlines is going to sponsor us. And this beat my understanding. They made us pay 1.7 million. And when we paid that, we only had breakfast, which was not enough. We never had lunch in any of the days we stayed there. It was over 3 days, over 2 days. We never had lunch. We starved. The first day, we were like, okay, since they're shooting Beach Beauty, maybe it's okay. Then in the evening, we had maybe pizza and then food. Then in the morning, breakfast, no lunch the whole day. That day I cried. I called my mom. I was crying. I had bad ulcers. If I was really a bad person, that was the time I would have started saying things about them. So we didn't have anything. They refused to give us our money that we had actually given them to change. They gave us our money that evening when the following day we were going back. And they lied to us we are going to stay 1 week, and we stayed for only 2 days. We had to pay 1.7 million. And yet they told us Uganda Airlines gave them $100,000. Why? What's that? Like, I didn't really understand this. So now here comes in, we come back, we go for presentation. When we go after presentation, that was when boot camp comes in. Now in boot camp, they were so shameless. They did not even hide the favoritism. There is somebody whose parent, whenever the parent comes, she is allowed to get out anytime she feels like. But for us, the way they belittle our parents, because they would not allow us to go out, they would belittle them. They'll be like, no, she's not going out. But the other one, she goes out like 4 times a day if she wants, because her parents have the money and we don't have the money. So there is a and then they started telling us, as people who are not buying votes, we are up for elimination. So they mentioned my name. They told me I am very active. I'm very active in other things. My social media is very okay because I used to tag them, post and tag them. But then I am not buying votes. They gave me 2 days to go to call people and start buying votes. I kept quiet. Then I got the microphone and I told them, you people, when I came in for Miss Uganda, I remember I asked, you people told me Miss Popularity does not matter. It is beauty with brain. And that is what I actually brought. In class, I was extremely active because this is like my calling. This is my lane. This is social work. I knew each and every question. My hand was always up. In fact, even my fellow contestants told me, Lourine, you're smart. Like when it came to answering questions, these girls were actually scared of me because I was always there. Like not to even show off. Uganda Christian University pushed me through because I'm among the top 5 best students in the social work class 2024. They're like, it's okay if Lourine wants to go. They would even check on me. Our university does not actually like these things, but they pushed me because I had to tell them this is a social work thing, and they're like, it's fine. Go and make us proud. Do you know how many people I have failed? So these people, when I told them, I'm like, you people lied to me. But I've managed to be so active in talent. Other things, I'm very active. Do you know these people make us pay fine? You could pay fine like 10 times a day, and that's 5,000, 10,000, 5,000, or even 20,000. And what do? This is the money that they use for their personal things. I made sure I had only 3 times I was fined. Other people would be fined like 5 times a day, then tell me that I have not been up to speed. I was so active, very active in class. Then they tell me they want to eliminate me. So these people find me sometime, and then they tell me, they're like, Lourine, you know what? They got me one-on-one after the meeting. When I had talked, I was like, you people are unfair because I have been very active in other places, but I don't have the money that buys votes. I don't really have it. They find me in the room. They sent the administrator. She came and told me, Lourine, why don't you call Mapenduzi, Balmoy, call some of the MPs and ministers in my area to buy for me votes. We go to churches and we mobilize them to buy for me votes. Like, people, I felt so degraded at that moment. I looked at her and I'm like, So these people think I can do that. This is the time when I would actually get those people and tell them, let us do something, put a borehole in my village or something as a regional queen, instead of asking them to buy for me votes. I think I would be sounding mad. They would not even help me. So then I was like, no, at the moment, one of our honorables is facing issues on corruption. It's very hard for me to face him. So they're like, but your mommy has money. I had realized that from the first day when they saw my mom at the meeting. They just knew my mommy has money. My mommy, I grew up with a single mother, you people. It hurts for my mom to pick 20 million. She told me, let her give you 20 million, you boost the votes and you relax. It hurts. 20 million. My mommy to put in something that is not going to benefit me at all, because we already know the people they want to win. I don't have the height. I'm not really light-skinned or anything. You people, I felt so bad. They started telling me to tell my mom to put 20 million in boosting votes. I looked around and I'm like, you know what? Let me think. I sat down and I thought, and then I'm like, let me just leave. Let me allow myself to be eliminated.